This is Beyond the Headline segment, the Tuesday edition of Prime Morning. And of course, today we want to talk about our jobs out there. You know, we've complained about unemployment. However, the government did create a YEA to help the youth out there to make sure that he keeps unemployment. There's also Youth Start, which will be coming up very soon, and hopefully it will finance entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs out there who are demanding some jobs. But YEA Center was created in order for you to apply for a job. They put out the job vacancies. However, as much as you're complaining, we heard some of you don't even apply for the jobs at all. So they put out over 1,000 jobs, opportunities, but Ghanaians don't want those jobs. They want a white-collar job. They want a certain particular job. Today we have the YEA consultant right here with us who will help us with this discussion. His name is Franklin Leonard. Leonard. Which one is your name?
Well, Leonard's the always a little bit silent, so it becomes Leonard.
So you Leonard, okay.
Yes,
welcome, sir.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm good. And
great.
Yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. It's good to have you in the studio with us.
Thank you.
Okay, and also joining us via Zoom later will be Mr. Ofosu Asamoah, who is Executive Secretary at National Labour Commission. So he will join us later. We'll also activate the phone line for you at home to ask all your questions because, you know, Franklin is a consultant, so he can answer all the questions when it comes to YEA Job Center. And like I said, good morning once again. Let's talk about the whole job issues in Ghana because people complain so much that there are no jobs, but the YEA has been created to help or enable curb joblessness. But it looks like people are still complaining. So tell us a bit about what is happening in the YEA job centers.
Okay, so thank you first of all, and then good morning to all the viewers, your viewers as well. With the YEA Job Center have two models, what YEA directly employ and then what indirectly. Indirectly in the sense that when they are doing private partnership with individual businesses. So basically what they do is every business out there that has vacancies, they advertise it through the YEA Job Center platform. And then people actually apply for those vacancies. In-house, we have the job center. We have the job advisors who specialize in giving information about a particular vacancy to job seekers. Then you have the partnership department whose sole job is to be out there and then looking for businesses that have vacancies and they want to advertise. And when the vacancy comes in, we advertise onto the YEA Job Center platform. Whereas at the comfort of your home, you can walk into the working center with your CV. The platform also permits for you to upload your CV as well. Okay. Whereas you can actually do a job match in terms of locations, geographical locations, whether being regional or within the district. And basically you can go through, if you meet the criteria, there's a call center set up, whereby you can make a phone call to the call center. A call center advisor will walk you through the vacancies and then see if you meet the criteria for what the employer is looking for, organize an interview session for you to attend. Okay. So that is pretty much what we have within the job center. That's a total setup. So between Monday through to Friday, you have job advisors, enough job advisors to actually... How many job advisors are we looking at? If you take their office by the rate, we have at least on average about 5 job advisors present all the time. In the call center, we have about 6 people in the call center. How many call centers do we have? Currently, we only have 1 call center. Okay, and how many centers for the job centers do we have apart from that? Okay, so for every region within the district, there's a job center literally located over there. So if you
we
go
have
to
about
Tamale,
16?
Yes, about 16. Okay. It's not all it's not the entire regions, but I think you have about 10. Okay. With the new regional setup, they are not quite there yet. But we have about 10 that is totally set up within the district that you can actually walk into. Any assembly, they're using the local assembly offices, so when you walk in there, you can actually have a job advisor to see to. So it means that if you don't have access to that district or you live far from that district, then you struggle to get to the job center. No, if you that's the beauty of what they've actually set up. If you're not closer to a district, you just go online. Okay. Jobcenter.com. You can access all the vacancies over there. We also have a CV builder whereby you can actually, it just asks you for various questions that you just answer those questions and automatically build your CV for you. And then after the CV is built, you can actually shortlist vacancies that meet the criteria of what is it that you're looking for.
Right.
So for the comfort of your home, from your smartphones, you can actually log onto the Job Center website and then search for jobs.
Is this open to only people who are learned or people who have been to school, or it's open to all? Because there are some illiterates. We are talking about setup across all regions in Ghana, which means that we have some deprived regions, unfortunately not as developed as Accra is. Hence, you have some illiteracy level there. Is it good, or is it available to them? Can they also access it to get a job through there?
Yes, you can. On the platform, you have the skilled and unskilled. So unskilled, such as maybe a cook, maybe a cleaner.
But how can that person go on a platform?
Sorry?
How can the person go on a platform?
It's just by going to the internet from your smartphone.
But somebody who is illiterate will struggle to do this.
That becomes a little bit dicey. I mean, this is a new model actually set up. So I think over a period of time, they'll be able to get into the local offices. But for what we're launching now is we're doing community recruitment now, which is starting on the 22nd of July. Whereas we move into the local community and then basically contact all the employers within the community, whether they have any vacancies, and then do a local recruitment whereby employers will be available, and then the Job Center staff personnel will also be available to assist in the recruitment.
Okay, so that's what you're doing as of now?
Yes, that's what currently we're doing now.
Okay, and do we have a lot of Ghanaians applying for jobs?
Yes.
What are the age ranges?
On average from 18 up to 35 to 40 are the majority of the people that are actively looking for jobs online. Okay.
And they do get the jobs?
Some, yes. Some, no. The reason being is we have a group of people that, if I'm going to be honest about it, a group of people that are only looking for government jobs. Okay, so they will not apply for a private sector. Okay, they start and they just want to apply for government jobs. And then you have another group that also apply for private, but they have a specific criteria of jobs that
do you have a
looking
lot
for.
Of private jobs on there?
I mean, for the Job Center platform is a partnership between the private sector, and the government. So on the platform, majority of the vacancies on there are private sectors.
Oh, really?
Majority of them.
Okay.
About 98%
are private sectors.
Are private sectors, that's right.
Right. Now, what's the salary range that we look at?
Salary is a little bit dicey because as a country, we don't have a standard salary markup set. For instance, if somebody is applying for an administrator, what is the salary range in the country? We don't really have it. If somebody is applying for an account, let's say I'm HR, admin assistant, customer services, we don't have those parameters actually set. So it becomes on a merit of either through experience or lack of experience. The employer feels, okay, you were a huge risk, I now have to train you. So then the salary becomes lower, and then over a period of time, you have to get an increase. So that is the dicey situation that we currently have in the country. Until we come to a point whereby we set up salary structures, it becomes, I want 4,000. No, we can afford to pay 1,500.
So you take it or you leave it?
Yeah.
Doesn't the YEA negotiate on the person's behalf?
For the partnership department, what we've started doing is before the vacancy actually will come onto the database, they go in and they ask various incentives available, and then basically check to make sure whether the company is indeed well registered, SNAIT and GRA also equally registered, and then what salary are they looking forward to pay, including whether there are any incentives or not. So this is something that the partnership department have started within last, with the setup of the Job Center started doing in negotiating terms. But you also have a situation whereby, and we make this vacancy and the amount you are paying available on the database. We don't hide it. So before you actually click on the job to apply, you already know the salary that this particular vacancy is going.
For every vacancy?
For every single vacancy, the salary is displayed.
Okay.
Sometimes we've even made it very clear to the extent that we say, okay, these vacancies may be being paid 1,000 Ghana cedis subject to experience. Or the employers are required maybe between 2 to 3 years experience, or no experience required, training will be given. So all these details are totally spelled out on the website. Whereas before you apply for, you already know the vacancy that a business owner is paying. You have situations whereby people will apply for the vacancy. At the point of the interview, say, okay, I want to pay 3,000. And the employer will be like, but didn't you see the criteria for the vacancy before you applied for? So even though people see the amount the employer is paying per calendar month, they still somehow want to get a bigger end of it as well.
Is that the reason why you have so many vacancies without people applying?
It's a factor, but I think, in my opinion, we're producing university graduates that are not ready for the job market.
Okay.
That is the fundamental problem.
What doesn't make them ready for the job market?
Okay, for instance, people finish university. I've sat in a couple of interviews, and people sit in an interview and asking, okay, what did you read in uni? It's okay, I read this. How does that prepare you for the job market? Well, I don't know. Why did you pursue this program? Or when I go to the university, this is the only course available for me. And these are, out of every 10 people you interview, on average about 7 or 8 are people that they didn't really want to pursue that particular program, but they have to be in university, and that's the only course that was available for them. So when a people exit university, number one, they are not really passionate about what the particular job that they want to do based on what they study at the university. Number two, the career coaching segment within the SHS into the university is a big gray, in a sense that I believe before somebody even exits GHS into SHS, they need to have a career coaches within the school to actually prepare their mind as to what they can want to do in the future. And they should be guiding them towards the program or the course that they do at the university level. So before even you exit university, you should even have an attachment in between to give you
an internship.
Exactly. So, but it doesn't happen in most cases. So people exit university and then the next minute they are in service. Now, when they get to service, majority of the service personnel are within the government sector.
Yeah.
Now, not to be hypocrite, but we all know the accountability segment within the public sector is not as compared to the private sector. So you have people just come to work in the morning, sit all day, telephone calls, a bit of photocopying.
And going to buy food and coming
exactly,
back, yeah.
And then that's it. So they finish the service now. Instead of them to take advantage within the service to make sure they learn everything that needs to be learned for their own career development, they take advantage of because of there's no strict monitoring system. So they finish the service and the amount of experience they're supposed to build is not there. Now, government cannot absorb every single university graduate.
So you don't look at it, the national service, as an experience?
For me, I think if the private sector could be involved a bit more, because I've witnessed and I've done consulting within the public offices, and the monitoring and the effectiveness of how a private business person would demand for accountability is not as compared to the public sector. And then if we're going to be honest about it, that is what it is. So majority of people sit, even as a private business owner, come for an interview. So I've done a service here, I've done a service there, with a very high institution reputation. And you expect that, or at least for a whole year, they should have the fundamental right.
And they don't.
And they don't.
Nothing at all. I have my first caller on the line. I'm sorry I didn't even announce that I've activated the phone lines, but I have a caller calling me because this tells us that people really have a lot to say. Hello, good morning, Philip. You're calling me from the Western region.
Good morning, dear. Please, I just joined the conversation, and I want to know what are the job market.
Can you speak up a bit for us, please?
Okay. I said I just joined the conversation.
Okay.
I just joined you about the discussion. That is the job market in Ghana. And I want to know what are... Hello? So I want to know what are the discussion seeks to employ young people that have the qualification because I'm a university graduate.
All right, don't cut your call. Okay, hold on. I don't know if Franklin understands. Franklin, you have a question for him? Ask him.
Not quite. I didn't get it.
I'm asking that what are the discussion seeks to, let the university graduates have the opportunity so that they will apply for the specific job that their qualification or the program that they did at the university can let them get in.
Okay. Philip, again, don't cut the call.
Okay. Yes, it does. But then once again, you're looking at what did you read at university? Do we have that criteria of those vacancies on the market now? And that's one of the problems. So, like I mentioned earlier.
All right, let me you can hang up now, Philip. Thank you so much. Okay.
So you have a group of people reading a particular program in university. Now, most of the times they are not even sure that particular program, how does it prepare them for the job market, okay? Because of the career guidance.
But can you read a course and apply for something else? Or you still have to, you know, apply for the course you read?
No, I mean, you can, but okay, for instance, if I did, let's say, sociology in school, for instance.
And I want to go to the banking sector.
And you want to go into the banking sector. Now, based on what experience?
Okay, let me answer my call. I'll come back to you. Hello, good morning also, answer.
Madam, good morning, like you said.
Nyamia dom na we.
Nyamia dom na we ya pa.
Yo, kasa
yiti.
yiti.
Ya no pay. Ya fa me owusi ansa. The person is a review also.
Yo.
Me teacher ni, me tell the was a review also senior high school.
Okay.
But yo, I read a contribution American work program so.
Yo.
But I beg you, my teacher, you know, madam, it's Christian said anyone. My child there for the past 21 years. There 5-6 years ago, madam, be introduced me into Empabwa, second hand Empabwa. Madam, the fear only to be you know. Meaning I am to make judge no. There are so many opportunities of work done as here. Your man means to me, Obian says over time, and about a teacher, man, I say that Obianica. This I'm still in your name is yet, and I'm a contributor for all these years, and to make judge. There's a lot of money for Zimbabwe. Madam, me poor school, my bishop Kakia Meton. I'm making a lot of money. Me see you know, madam, see you know. What plan not me child, let me to me, protocol to be to be that. It be strong. They tell you to know. More for money into a bad you must so. Any junior teacher for, any junior doctor for. There are so many opportunities. Pay. You say the meaning of money kind of. And the Jesus one in Kenya will be a obetna coaching kola we mo. And the plan no so say sebie song obey teacher you ma. It's a me ma wo mo. Me last two say me ko you be selection. I'm no mo ko. Me twenu mo kaka class at least. O school kwa na o ni da so so. Anya me post school bana say bia me we school class e makwan a. Metimi di we so ade. E twetwa jam. E kina bi me ni one ma. Almost so metimi di almost ade akoma no. So we university kwanya so nya adwuma nya sister. Obetu aton babwe bi. Ante so be nya sebie so. Say mo ka fa titi adwuma mo. Onya adwuma papa wa ade. Wakoye. And to me contribution that can make up
yeah, that's so fair and okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling. But the lines are still activated. You can call in and share your opinion as well. I'm still here with Franklin Leonard, and he's a consultant at the YEA Job Center. So Franklin, we're talking about, you know, applying for a job, although, you know, you might not have studied that in the university, because people haven't studied courses in the university. They go do their service at banks and they get the job in the bank, although they didn't study that course. So let me go on the line again. It looks like my phone lines are buzzing. Hello, good morning, Sadiq.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Right, you're calling us from where? Northeast region? What did you say?
No, from Aflao.
From Aflao, okay. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Okay, so my little contribution is sometimes we, the skilled labor, also lack certain stuff. For example, I'll use myself as an example. I dived into IT, let's say, about 6-7 years back. And then I was done with my high school. And I started pursuing this normal certificate. So I attended one information technology institute around the Parliament House now, advanced the European Center, just focused on Parliament House. And when we got out, we were equipped with much knowledge in information technology, like networking, system administration, all those stuff, like it without having to. Now, I was helping one of my lecturers back then, and we were doing some jobs like I do free works for me. So I worked with him for like about 3 or 4 years. In servers, everything around the networking. Now, when I got really equipped, I wasn't having a university degree by then. When I got really equipped on the job, I know much of the job. Whenever there is an application anywhere, then I apply. The only thing they ask me, do you have a degree? Though, you know, this work is something you can do. You guys can do, you install servers, run Active Directories for people, do for a whole organization. That is, if it comes as a contract for from my boss. But when there's any opportunity out there, and then you apply, the only thing they ask you, do you have a degree? Requirement is degree, requirement is degree. And then at the end of the day, you tend to be unemployed because you didn't get the opportunity to offer a degree in the because maybe based on one or two things. I hope you understand. Now,
Right, I get you.
I managed my way through for the whole.
Sadiq, oh, unfortunately, Sadiq's line dropped. But what Sadiq is saying, I'll come back to you and ask you. I still have another caller here. I have Mohammed. Hi, Mohammed. Good morning. You're calling me from Tamale.
Unfortunately, Sadiq's line dropped. But what Sadiq is saying, I'll come back to you and ask you. I still have
Please, when you call, kindly lower the volume on your television set so you don't get the feedback. We'll be very grateful if you do that. The phone lines are still activated. So anybody who wants to join the conversation, please do call and join the conversation. I have Franklin Leonards here. He's a consultant with the YEA Jobs Center. Please do lower the volume on your television set for us. But you know what he said? And yes, it was a question I was going to ask. Some people don't have the degrees, but they have the experience. Do we consider those with experience without the degrees?
Yes, we do. Some of the vacancies that we advertise, it will clearly state that experience is required. Must have minimum maybe 3 to 5 years experience,
But
or
you still
minimum
need
of 2 years
you still put
experience.
need a degree.
But they will say, okay, maybe HND required, but not necessary. We actually make those things crystal clear on the job vacancy, on the job ads as well. But I say, one of the advice I want to give is, if you want to build your career, you cannot finish university today and say you want to be paid 3,000, 4,000, 2,000 today. It takes time to build your career, to build the experiences. Most businesses will choose any day experience over qualification.
Right.
And if the youth today get to understand that model, that even though I want to be a banker in the future, I might have to start as a receptionist. I might have to start as an admin assistant, customer service. I have to do sales. To gain a series of experience within the first year, 2 years minimum, or 3 years, then you'll be a very competitive individual. Because
but there's a case whereby our system is not also being friendly. Why am I saying this? You know, you're starting from a receptionist, then you have your colleague who did a national service at maybe the bank, ABCD Bank. You go there and you go do a receptionist, and that person got employed because the person did a service there as, you know, maybe a teller or a customer, you know, retail person. So who wants to start as a receptionist? Probably you're a first-class student.
Okay, somebody, like you said, somebody did a service, but during the service, was a person a liability or an asset?
Okay.
So at the end of the day, if you do a service in a bank, and recently I went to my graduation at GH Media, and then basically one of the interns went to one of the media houses to work on service. When the person took a day off, they could not afford to let the person be off. They have to ask the person to come back. So you are an asset to the institution. They cannot afford to get rid of you. But then there were other people also who were not employed because during their term of service, they don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to go the extra mile. Okay,
let me go back on the line. Mohammed is back. Hello, good morning, Mohammed.
This is Sadiq.
Oh, this is Sadiq. Okay, hi, Sadiq. Welcome back.
Okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, I wanted to ask this question. Why is it that there is a breach between skilled labor, as in people who are really skilled on the job, and then people who are coming out of the expression? Because I'm citing an example again. I remember in an interview, I am a very, very skilled labor in terms of this type of stuff. And then because of the degree aspect, just because of the degree, the job was given to someone with a degree whose knowledge was not up. So why is it that there is a very gap between the academics and the skilled, the people with the skilled labor? That's one thing I don't know why the job market is up. Because I hear people saying that in some countries they value the skill more than the, but in our country.
Oh, you heard people say, but you haven't been there.
Okay. Yeah. So that, I don't know why they value the skill more than the skill.
Let's hear Franklin answer that. But thank you so much for calling. So definitely don't tune out of the station because Franklin will answer. But let me go to Mohammed. Hello, Mohammed. Good morning. Oh, unfortunately, I think Mohammed's line dropped. Mohammed, please do call me back. I haven't been fair to you, so please do call me back. Don't let your credit finish yet. I beg you. All right, please answer Sadiq's question.
Okay, I mean, that is one out of how many vacancies, but in my experience, most employers will go for somebody who has the experience over certificate. Because normally when people exit university and you take them on, you now have to arrange them. You have
Is
to
it for the
groom them.
YEA Center? Because it looks like he has a personal experience where he applied, but whenever he went for an interview, they told him he didn't have, you know, the qualification, but he had the experience.
But that's a bit unfortunate, and I can't speak to when it comes to the YEA Job Center because it's one of the areas that we are very clear about whether the employer requires somebody with a degree, it must have, or it's an advantage but not necessary. So those are the distinctions that we make. Of course, you cannot tell an employer that if somebody has an experience, by all means, take them. It's up to their discretion. So, but in most of the vacancies that we put there, that's one of the areas that the patency department do very well. And then ask if the person have maybe 3 years experience, do you need a person or they must have a degree in addition to it? And then
Do you actually do the interviews, the first interviews at YEA before you hand them over to
Yes, we do.
Okay. Now, people think that when you do that, you look at party colors before you hand over. Is this true? Clear it on air for us.
Do you know what? No. And well, thank God I'm not into politics. For me, I think that if we can, one of the problems I think as a country that we need to be able to stay away from is we cannot bring politics into everything. These are private companies. It's not government recruiting. So that's individuals that have their businesses. They are advertising. The government has created a platform whereby they can advertise their vacancies for free and for people to be able to have access to those vacancies. So
it's open to all.
It's open to all.
There's nothing political about it.
No.
All right, let me go on the line. Hello, good morning, Sapong.
Yes, good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine by the grace of
Great.
God.
Let me hear from you.
Yes. It's quite interesting. I thank you very much for this conversation. I actually joined the discussion somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
But then there are certain things that are interesting to me. One thing that I would like to ask is that if businesses are choosing experience over qualification, my major question is, how do they measure experience? Is it by the number of years that somebody has worked? According to Franklin, there are certain people who join businesses and their attitude and their contribution to the business is quite lackadaisical. And so if the person, for instance, stays in a business for 6 years that has not contributed much, and he leaves that place, and then he's trying to acquire another job at a business center, and for say 7 years, and then you employ that person not knowing what he actually did in that 7 years. How is that going to help that you are employing the person to? And then the second thing that I would also like to say is that most of the problems that people are facing in the job market has got to do with the aspiring aspirations of parents. Let me explain. Let's say, for instance, my parent wanted to be a doctor. He couldn't get the opportunity to go to school and become a doctor. So he imposes this upon his children. So he wants their children to become doctors or nurses or lawyers. But the doctor, the child himself hasn't actually chosen that path.
Probably wants to be, a mechanic.
Yes, yes. And the next problem is the child is now in a wrong profession because of what their parents want them to be. So at the end of the day, I can also say that about 60 to 70% of students who are in wrong professions and who are pursuing wrong careers is as a result of the influence of their parents and the people who are taking care of them. They are pushing them into wrong professions and they are not actually considering the interest of their children. And so it is something that we should also try to let parents understand that when it is time for children to even choose courses at the SHS
We need to
They
give
should
them
be
the
guided
preferred,
according to
yes.
their own interest and not according to the interest of the parents and their I don't know how to put it.
I
but
agree with you.
I hope you get me.
I do agree with you on that. I
Yes,
really do
yes.
agree with you. Thank you so much for calling us this morning, Sapong. We're going to Takrade. Good morning, Mexican.
Good morning, Rosalind.
How are you?
You're looking beautiful.
Thank you so much, Mexican. I hope you're well.
Hey, I'm doing well.
All right, let's hear what you have for us this
I'm missing
morning.
my MFA too much. She should be coming back.
She'll be coming back.
Yesterday, I saw her on TV. I don't know when she did that program, but I saw her on TV
Okay.
last night.
Oh, okay. Anyway, what do you have for us this morning, Mexican?
I want to delve into a particular segment of the market or a particular job criteria, the sales and marketing area. You see, that is an area that is very important to almost every business that is doing the business for money. Okay, the sales guys go out and bring in the money, and then the company can run its programs as well. But unfortunately, the sales job is one of the jobs that the salaries are so low and so bad. I've been in sales for almost 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm speaking from experience. For example, I just checked on the YEA platform. There's a particular job for a marketing manager where the salary ranges between 1,000 and 1,005. Imagine a marketing manager. I don't know the type of the manager they are talking about, but suppose it's even not into a higher management level, okay? A salary of 1,000 to 1,500 under this current situation. How is a salesman going to survive? Imagine a salesman who has gone to the market and is bringing back to you 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, and then you are paying him 1,500 cedis at the end of the month. You know, this money will not get the guy to the end of the month. And so almost every time, sales guys are tempted to tamper with the monies of companies, and they are always in trouble.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
I agree with you. That's so true.
Sales job is one of the most difficult jobs that you can do. Okay, and then it is also the riskiest because you are carrying huge sums of money, and then you are going home. Maybe your rent, maybe your light bill, maybe there is no food at home, and then you don't have anything, but you're holding all this money. You are almost always tempted to touch company money. All because, look at 1,500. How much will it go for TNT? How much will it go for food? For the salesman alone. Imagine has a family of 3. When he's maybe a wife and 2 kids. How is he going to survive? You see, so I think that I make a suggestion. The YEA and the Ghana Employers Association and the government, wherever, this particular job, if you go to the court and there are guys who are being persecuted or tried for fraud and embezzlement, most of them are sales guys. Why? Because the job is difficult, the salary is so small, and then you are, I don't know. I think
don't be tempted. Don't be tempted. Go to church. Don't be tempted.
I'm getting sentimental, but this is because I'm involved with it.
Mexican, thank you so much for calling us. Your point is well taken. Thank you so much. Please, if you are doing sales, don't be tempted. There's no excuse to that. But frankly, you know, we're talking about so many job opportunities. The openings are there, but you don't have people applying for those areas. You told me earlier the areas are?
You have your sales, you have your marketing, you have the security, and then most of the time, warehouse or retail outlet.
Where?
Warehouse.
Warehouses.
Yes.
Why don't people want it? Let me answer my last caller, and then we answer this. I told you my lines were going to be buzzing. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Stephen from Tamale.
Okay, Stephen.
Yes. There's one thing that we usually don't look at. A lot of people think that there are some people who think that a lot of the youth want white-collar jobs and whatnot. There are actually a lot of people, a lot of young people that are ready to work. People even want to farm. People want to start businesses. But you hear people saying things like, oh, you don't even need money to start a business. And that's normally very ridiculous because I wonder how many successful people have been able to start business without using any money and without support from family members or friends or something like that. Even if you want to start pure water, you would need some money to start. Right now, people have applied for NEIP. They want some cash to be able to go into farming.
Right.
Rainy season has started. It's getting to the middle. And we are not even hearing anything at all. Our problem right now with regards to access to finance is a very big problem. People say you need to formalize your business and whatnot. So I think our problems with the youth and then job making and whatnot are so deep rooted. And sometimes what people come out and they say sometimes sounds very derogatory, very bossy and things. There are struggling young people around who are ready to even get into the farm and farm. It's not all about wearing ties and whatnot. So I don't know, maybe some of our programs, they have to sit back, think, and then do something about it. This you start thing. The rainy season is getting to the middle, and it's yet to be launched. NEIP, we are not hearing anything. And it's just people go to ideation programs, they go and pitch businesses, just make numbers for organizations, they write reports and talk of how many people they have trained and whatnot. And people are just roaming about. And
let's see what YouStart will give to us. YouStart will roll out very, very soon.
It's not only about YouStart. It's a problem. It's a big, big problem.
But
like they just want numbers for their reports that they have gone to train people and have done this and that and that and that.
Right. I get you. Anyway, thank you so much for calling and sharing your opinion. My WhatsApp call, I can't answer. So today is on sound and everybody has heard it. That my phone on here keeps ringing. I can't answer because we can't put it on air. But thank you to all our callers. I asked you a question and you were telling me the areas that people are not interested in.
Yes.
Why is this so?
See, let me pick it up from the previous caller who said about sales.
Okay.
I've been in sales my entire life.
Okay.
And I always consider there are two powerful people that you can find in any part of the world: journalists and salespeople. Your ability to network, okay, you get to meet different kinds of people. It builds your confidence level. You're able to communicate at all levels. Yes, every work is difficult. People come up with businesses. They expect people to go and get a business, and then out of the business that you bring, they pay you salary out of it. So sales job salary is not designed to make you comfortable. You get more money on the commission base. So the basic is supposed to keep you floated, but go out there and then talk about negotiate about commission base. So your commission is supposed to give you the comfort of life, not the basic. Because when you give a basic higher and the person goes out and they perform less, your business runs down.
That's so, oh my goodness.
It's
normal. It's normal that I get my calls here.
Okay, that's but
please go ahead.
I think from today, everybody should go into the YEA Job Center platform. Take your time and then look for the vacancies available for you.
But we still have, you said there's security. They don't like security?
Most people don't like security because currently what the YEA is doing is in partnership with insurance companies, whereas they are coming together to actually do training for people that want to be in sales, give them a basic of 400 Ghana cedis, and then when they actually start working, basic is minimum of 800 Ghana cedis, and then plus commission base. And they have over, if I'm not exaggerating, over 300 to 500 vacancies within the insurance segment. Yes. So if you want to apply, call the job center today.
And nobody's applying?
No, people are not applying. Most of the vacancies we couldn't fill during the job fair were sales.
Okay.
When we did the job fair in Accra alone, we had a little bit over 12,000 turnout for the job fair last year. On sales alone, we were about 1,200 to 1,300 vacancies available. We couldn't fill even 200. Yes.
Okay.
People don't like sales and marketing because they think it's hard work. But the thing is, every business...
But you need to have a flair for it, right?
You have to love what you do.
Exactly. So if I don't love sales,
well, then at the end of the day, you have to wait for a desk behind job.
Okay. Okay.
And then that might
or
take
go
you
into entrepreneurship.
Exactly. But the thing is, even with the entrepreneurship comes, if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to have an experience.
Salesperson, yeah.
Somebody have to train you, or you have to learn a thing or two to be able to run your own business. So at the end of the day, it's okay that we're pushing the youth to go into entrepreneurship, but the youth have to make a conscious decision to get themselves built up through experiences. Take all jobs.
Okay, so there's a message here, okay, and I think it might not look like it's addressing the same issue, but let me read it. It might address it a bit. He says, how come all national service personnel henceforth are going into teaching? Do they all aspire to teach after service, or teaching is just a menial job that anybody can do? Meaning that when I do the teaching, I might not get an experience into the world. So what happens?
See, I don't think it's only teaching segment. I think it's because people want to find themselves secured within the job market, have a regular inflow coming in, and which is perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with it. The challenge I have is people are doing what they don't love. Go to some of the hospitals today, okay, and you look at the customer service that you receive. It's appalling. Back in the day, to queue for the banks is like taking your money from the banks. Like people are doing you a big favor until you have some of these now smaller banks in. Now the banking industry has become competitive, whereby we're delivering customer service. Customer service is new to us compared to how we used to do things 10, 15, 20 years ago. We are now migrating into the customer service era. Sales is more of a customer service role. So that is why we're going through that phase. After a period of time, I think it will settle with us, and then people will be more open as to running a very good customer service. If we walk into any business at all with a very good attitude to learn, number one, to help the business owner to build, at the end of the day, you become an asset. You gain more experience. You begin to enjoy what you're doing. If even they are not paying you what you're looking for, you are now competitive because you've gathered experiences over the period of time. You can now move or change jobs and then get a competitive salary. That is all we did in our career for us to get here today. Whilst I was in uni, I was doing like Zoom Lion. Because when I do Zoom Lion back in the day, it was £50 for the week. It pays my 1 week rent. Then I have to come and do the bar waiting stuff to actually pay for my TNT and my credit and my...
So why don't they like the security in Ghana? Is it the money?
I think it's the stigmatization towards security. Now, back in the day, 10, 20 years ago, if you say you are a watchman, it's the least respected. And that stigmatization has lingered on over the period of years, whereas if you, even in your own home, says, what does your son do? Oh, it's a security. You mean he's a watchman? It's like degrading. But outside, you have, when police officers finish their shift, they come to do bouncers. They are security personnel within the nightclubs. Because what? It pay about 50 or 45 pounds for the night.
Is that security paying in Ghana?
Well, the question is, security has become a luxury to us. People will not sign up for security service unless one way or the other they are threatened. In the scale of bills, people will pay all bills and pay security less. Okay, so now security companies are even struggling. Now, if you
get people
exactly, if you charge a customer for, let's say, 1,200 Ghana cedis a month to render very good quality security service for you, they're like, oh, what's my Juma? I can only pay about 600. Now 600, take your running costs, take your taxes, take your slate. How much can you pay the security personnel? About 400, 450. If the person is married with kids, it's not practical. So you end up having the youth, whereby youth are a little bit of a higher risk because they can afford to work out from a job because they have a comfort of life. So it makes the security companies now seriously struggling because customers don't want to pay the higher end of the market to be able to pay. If you're paying the security guard about 800 Ghana cedis a month, there's a comfort.
So this is why you will have the security place being very vacant and people not applying for it, because like I told you earlier, I won't pay to go to the university and come earn 800 cedis.
Well, but you have to start from somewhere. So does it mean you're going to remain unemployed?
So then it means that the person has to go into other avenues, right?
Exactly. So it just look at different angles.
Why will I be employed and use all my money on fuel?
Okay, so then you look, two things. Most of the people applying for jobs, one of the few things, when I sit in an interview panel, I was like, okay, where do you live? How long does it take you to travel from where you live to work? Okay, traditionally, it shouldn't be more than 45 to 1 hour to travel to work. This part of the world, it doesn't really work out that way. So most of the time when you sit in an interview and you don't ask people the question that, okay, I'm paying you 800 Ghana cedis. Now, if you live at Kaswa, look at the time, traffic, Uber, Trotro, you might end up spending about 700 Ghana cedis alone into TNT. So therefore, even though you meet the criteria, I'm not going to offer you the job because you cannot make an ends meet out of what I'm paying you. So that's why we're doing the community recruitment, that if somebody lives in Kaswa, they don't need to travel all the way down to, let's say, this area to come and work. Let's identify vacancies within the Kaswa terrain so that at least people can apply for jobs within their locality. Okay. And then let me add it to it. Under the leadership of Justin Kodia, for the first time, we're launching career coaches going as low as DHS to give career advice into SHS, into university. Okay. Which is something that the country really needs. So before the child even exits from DHS, they have some form of an idea on their career journey. Who
are the career coaches we are looking at?
Currently is basically people that the job center used during the job fair that we did the original tour with them, have volunteered to basically come on board. They have their background of teachers, entrepreneurs, bits and pieces to actually come on board with the job center. And then basically we are now writing officially to schools that want us to come and do a career segment for the students. So next month, July, okay, we're in July now. So by the 22nd, we're launching the first one, whereas we're going to various schools to actually do this career coaching from DHS to SHS and then hopefully into the university.
Fantastic. I have a question here. It says, hello, I'm Emmanuel. I would like to know if YEA jobs are available for only the graduates or the SHS graduates are included.
Okay, so
we don't have enough time.
The
so
SHS graduates are included. Basically, the details of the vacancy will be there. Like I said, some of the insurance companies are looking for as low as the SHS or JHS students to train into sales and then basically give me jobs.
Okay, so another message coming in. I wasn't going to read, but let me read this quickly. I know I have 1 minute. My producer, don't beat me. Good morning. This is Mohammed from Tamale. Your program is very important. You see, HR managers who are responsible for job recruitment and selection are very biased. They know the kind of people who should be selected for a particular job position, but these managers in turn give these jobs to unqualified, uneducated people they claim they know. Is this true?
But does it happen? Not within the job center, unless it's talking about private business. But
so with a job center, it doesn't happen?
It's just free and fair.
All right, that's why I wanted to clear.
You are fine.
So if you have a problem with any HR company, just go to the job center. If you know the vacancy you're looking for is available, why not? Why not?
Yes.
You definitely give the person.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I don't have enough time, but thank you so much for being here. What is the contact number for YEA, the hotline number?
Give me 2 seconds. Let me dig it out for you.
Please do.
Okay,
let me see if I have another message coming in. We are trying to get his phone, and then I think I had another message coming in. As we wait for the phone, I have some messages. I'm trying to skip some and then read some. Okay. All right. And then you give us a website as well.
Yes, please.
Okay, great. Great. So you have it now?
Yes, almost 1 second. Right. I just want to make sure I don't give the wrong number.
Okay, so as you're finding it, we want to wish a happy birthday to is one fine gentleman. Okay, you have Alaja Vida of Dream Wide Entertainment. Okay, happy birthday to you, Alija, hey, Alija Vida. I'm massacring your name. Happy birthday to you, Alija Vida of Dream Wide Entertainment. God bless you. This is coming from Giovanni. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So, someone's saying they want the YEA website. Can we access the YEA website? Yes, you can access it. So he's going to give us the YEA website so you can access it easy.
Okay, so the website is www. So it's www.yeajobcenter.gov.gh.
www.yeajobcenter.gov.gh. .gov.gh. Okay,
Yes.
so please do www.yeajobcenter.gov.gh.
Yes, please.
Okay, that's how you can access the center. Thank you so much. Any number as well?
And the telephone number, okay, got it. Telephone number is 0302
0302
25
25
95
95
24
24.
or 0302
Okay.
225 9528.
528.
Yes,
So it's
please.
either 24 or
28, yes.
All right. So you can call them 0302 2595 24 or 28. Just contact the YEA Center. It's easy like that. Like
It's
Franklin
that
is
easy, it's
saying,
that easy.
there's nothing political about the place.
No.
If you find any political issue, let us know. We'll put it on air. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so
We're
much.
very grateful. I've been speaking to Franklin Leonard. He's a consultant with the YEA Job Center, and we've been talking about our job systems in Ghana. But he's saying it's open to you. So do apply. We have some job vacancies as well. A lot out there.
Lots out there.
Okay.
Lots out there.
Okay. In recent times,
Recent times, yes.
Okay.
They are updated every single day.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's updated every single day. So please do go online and go apply. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you
We are
so
super,
much.
super grateful. We'll be calling on you again. And we are hoping that people will stop complaining about issues with job.
We pray so.
On that note, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, KMJ will take us away with more on the show. Do stay with us.